Hi, good morning everyone. This video is recording for the purpose of group discussion assignment for UHLB3132. So firstly, let me start the discussions by introducing my team members. Wen Chuan as a marketing officer, Kang Jing as a technical officer, and Alex Ling Jing Kai as a finance official, and also myself as a project manager and coordinator for these discussions. So the topic our group going to discuss today is about the e-wallet payments. So the purpose of discussions on this topic is because of the high demand of the e-wallet payment, and it is become a trend in Malaysia for business transactions, and it comes with a set of challenges in which we need further investigations and improvement from our officers to give a best solutions on these problems. So maybe some of you might not be familiar with this e-wallet payments. So let me just giving some short briefing on this payments method. So e-wallet is a digital wallet as well. We just call it as a e-wallet. It's an electronic device, online service, or software program that allows one party to make electronic transactions with another party, bartering digital currency units for goods and services. So now, I think most of you has understood the meaning and usage of the e-wallets in our daily life, and starting to figure out what is the problem that's come up from the e-wallets, and I need all of our officers to suggest the improvements that can be made with the relevant supporting details. So as the starting point of our discussions, can I have Wen Chuan of our marketing officers to give or deliver the first problems that the e-wallet facing in the market nowadays, please?
Yes, of course. Thank you, Peng Ang. I agree with you that the e-wallet payment have become the newer trend. The digital e-wallet app have shown to be successful for both consumer and the companies. After receiving customer feedback, the marketing team discovered that one of the challenge is the fraud detection. Fraud detection and mitigation. It is significant to take care of frauds that create problem in the e-wallet app development. People who are unfamiliar with the e-wallet are easily fraud, and the e-wallet payment risk is associated with the data steal, data leak, malware attack of hacking, and so on. This risk is one of the main reasons why many individuals avoid e-wallet and using e-wallet or abandon them. Over the years, technology have advanced so much that this threat can be avoided by developers. Nowadays, most digital payment apps are compliant with EU GDPR, which the General Data Protection Regulation complaint. This have caused many companies of customer to be afraid to use the e-wallet service, even though it have many benefits. As a technical official, what your opinion, Kang Jing?
Yes, I agree that this is indeed an important problem that we need to address. To do so, we can actually provide users with greater levels of education surrounding financial fraud through videos, social media posts, and in-app banners. We also need to ensure that our organization retains tools that allow for comprehensive visibility into the transaction systems. This will allow IT admins to effectively monitor security and detect fraudulent transactions. Basic information security standards such as the Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard, or otherwise more commonly known by its abbreviation PCI DSS, should also be implemented. However, this is not everything that we should implement, but we should also seek out other higher quality tools which will enable our IT personnel to do more in managing fraudulent transactions. A zero trust security model where no one is trusted by default from inside or outside the network, and verification is required from everyone trying to gain access to resources on the network, can also be implemented to prevent fraud risk, as it has been a proven method to prevent data breaches. Furthermore, this security model can act as a point of advantage over competitors, as not all organizations implemented it yet. What do you think about my suggestion, Penga?
Thank you, Kang Jing. I think that's a very indeed a viable solutions. So does anyone have another ideas? Please.
Yes, Peng. I have. So another solution is to identify suspicious behavior. Fraud prevention platforms include components focused on detecting fraud patterns. One example is a first-time buyer placing an unusual large order. This describes a common behavior of someone using a stolen credit card. If a customer uses different payment methods for order sent to the same address, red flags should go up. Also, beware of big orders with foreign shipping addresses. International law makes it harder to successfully fight frauds. That's all for my point.
Okay, Alex. I think both of the ideas are great, and I think it can be implemented. So, how about your opinion, Muchan?
Yeah, I think so. I completely agree with everyone's suggestion are excellent and can add in the resolution of this situation. Then for us, the second challenge we face is the customer mindset. So I think changing a customer mindset is a daunting task, but pursuing them will somehow lead to amazing result for an e-wallet application. So customer have long use cash check and the ATM card to negative transaction. So some of them use credit card regularly. The reason behind this is that people are still unaware of the benefits of using e-wallet. What do you guys think that this issue and of is there somewhere to overcome this issue?
I think I can speak on this idea. I got my idea in which the e-wallet company can collaborate with the government for more promotions and or for more discounts on the payment done by the e-wallets, especially for the government services, such as the users can get a discount for the payment made by using e-wallet for the TMB bills or the telecommunication bills. So the available examples nowadays is the Touch and Go e-wallets company are currently encourage their user to pay the TMB bills by giving discount in terms of cashback upon the transaction is successfully made by the customers. So the others good suggestion, the other good examples of the collaboration between the e-wallets and the governments is to overcome the traditional mindset of the users is the e-Belia campaign. I believe all of us know the e-Belia campaign. This prepare for the younger generations or the generation who are still studying in uni and secondary schools. So in this campaign, this is mainly subsidized campaigns for the students, and the campaign is able to make the verification process very fast and the verification process for the qualified students to become very easier and effective, as well as it can let the student groups to familiar with the e-wallet payments when they want to pay something for their studies or what. So I think this way can overcome the traditional mindset in the student groups. So can I have Kang Jing to share more about the idea on this topic, please?
I think that what you said is indeed true. By implementing these basic features into the e-wallet system, more mainstream customers will turn towards our product as the government itself tends to promote these activities, and they will inevitably promote our e-wallet along with it. However, to implement this, we may need help from the other departments to obtain the relevant API from all the utilities companies and government institutes. This is so that we will be able to create a system to verify the bill account numbers for our users, to be able to view their total bill amount due, and update the latest payment into both ours and the relevant utilities payment system. We will also need to be able to verify the identification card numbers when claiming things like e-Berlia. Do you have any other suggestion, Alex?
Yes, Kanji. So beside that, one strategy to raise awareness among them is send them notification about the great offers related to payments to specify merchants. We must ensure that of the service offerings, safety, convenience, usability of the system, and significant cost saving in apps development. For example, we can provide some offer for the needs of the users like foods, beverages, and groceries. Therefore, it is significantly to expand the mindset of the customer. So do you agree with me? Which one?
Oh yes, thank you for your suggestion. I think after finished hearing your guys' suggestion, it very suddenly made me wonder how to solve this issue. Then the next challenge is lack of the trust. As per the research done by the YouGov, more than 40% of smartphone operator have a trust issue with e-wallet. A comparable number of people are ensures that if their phone is stolen or missing, they will be lost all of their money. If people do not trust in e-wallet, they will not feel secure to keep their money in e-wallet. Privacy and confidentiality are the main concern of people. People must be educated on the value and convenience of adopting e-wallet. Experian conducted a study that found that 55% of the consumer feel safer of using credit card. According to Oriuma poll, people who use e-wallet will not promote them to their relative or their friend to use it. Besides that, so according to the above information, it shows that the users do not have great confidence in the e-wallet. So I think that we should think of somewhere to increase the users' trust in e-wallet. So I want to ask is it anyone have idea about this issue?
In my opinion, one of the ways we can improve trust in our product within the community is by ensuring that our product is compliant with the General Data Protection Regulation, the GDPR. This is because users tend to trust third-party opinions of a product when security is involved, and will be more at ease if they know that our company's data system is scrutinized by another third-party data security organization, which has been verified by the government. We should also let our users know about the type of information we collect and why we collect them. This will help us prevent future disputes of data misuse. Does anyone else have anything more to add?
Yeah, I think I have to add something on that. So I'm adding for examples to improve the trust of the e-wallets by the way of advertising the convenience and advantage of e-wallets to the users on the radio broadcasting stations, in which the e-wallet company can compile a real review from customer based on how secure of e-wallet to the users. And just like what Apple did, they just make a real review of the customers and post it into the media socials. So the customer will know how secure of the e-wallets to the users, and then the audience of the radio stations can improve their reliance of the e-wallet payment instead of using the traditional ways of paying method that is using cash. Other than that, the e-wallet company they can also advertising on how convenient of e-wallets, in which the user managed to check the balance or the outstanding payments of the bills in the e-wallet applications. So I think that's all my points. So do you guys have any opinion regarding my suggestions?
Yes, Ben, I agree with your suggestion. So the benefit is very high because even if it has a little bit of advantage fee, it can be quickly earned back, such as increasing the users' bases. Wenchuan, do you agree with my explanation?
Yes, thank you. Sorry. So yes, I agree with your point lah, and I think the Pengang point just now is very good. So for the last challenge is I think is the less awareness because many consumer believe that carrying in cash is more efficient and simple to handle. So they believe that mobile e-wallet are too complex to use and are no meant for them. I think we can train them in using their e-wallet using easy voice command of point and pay technical with proper awareness program. They need to be they need to be awareness of the credibility and reliability of the e-wallet. I think the idea of Pengang just now can also help with this problem. Does anyone have other comment to overcome this issue?
From my point of view, we can also produce tutorial videos of using e-wallets and post them on social media pages. Furthermore, we can also try to hire influencers to partake in our tutorial videos to increase the view count of our videos. By doing so, we will be able to showcase the ease to a large portion of society. And that is all I have to say about the issue.
So thank you for the suggestion for the Kangjing. I think this good to overcome this issue also. And then for marketing department, I think just facing their issue here only. So I passing back the mic to our project manager, Pengang.
Okay, seems like all of us give a nice and constructive insight regarding the problems of using the e-wallet payments. So now I'm making a small conclusion that the problems of e-wallet is fraud risk, lack of trust by the society, the traditional mindset of the customer to use e-wallet payments, and less to get in touch or less awareness to the e-wallets. So in contrary, I have my own opinion about that. The e-wallet having a various of advantage to the users. The pros of e-wallets is convenience to the users. That's my first ideas. So can I have our marketing officers when trying to give some evidence or details regarding the advantage of e-wallets?
Yes, of course. I think that the bigger difference between the e-wallet and the traditional payment method is that for e-wallet is very convenient. So first of all, the bigger benefits of e-wallet is that it can reduce our contact with money. So because as we know that money is a constantly moving object, so you do not know who have touched your money of whether the person who touched it have virus or not. So not only that, but we tend to overlook the bacteria that lie on money, such as unhygienic habit as rubbing your face and wiping your nose after receiving money should have to play in the new normal. So I think using e-wallet can reduce our exposures to money and thus the risk of viral exposures. So with an electronic with the e-wallet, the ability to pay without touching money can actually work in other countries. So we used to have to exchange a lot of foreign currency when we travel abroad, but the machine trap is an e-wallet that allow you to exchange money directly from your e-wallet into your designer currency. And if you have a small amount left after you finish your trip, you also can change it back directly into the Malaysia dollar. It's very convenient, I think. Besides that, they no need to carry too much money with them while purchasing item lah. This is because the customer no need to worry about the lack of money used while doing purchasing by just scanning the QR code to complete the payment. Beyond that, the process of payment method from the e-wallet is faster than the cash. In the past, you can imagine if we did not use e-wallet, we should probably pay by taking out a wallet from our pocket. After that, we ask the shop consultant what the price. Then you should pick up a few noise from the your wallet. Then, but hey, is how come you are 20 cents short, but you have hand over an extra $1 to the shop assistant, and just at your pay that he won't give you 5 to 6, 10 cents on your hand. Then you need to put in, and you have no other way but to go home with the coins. This process is not only annoying, I think, but also slow. So nowadays, the ways we pay for things that is basically as fast as possible. Not only to save time, but also because we do not have to stay in the same pay for too long because the COVID pandemic. So I think many local supermarket and more store farm, and even though the nice market now offer e-payment option, so don't worry about losing your e-wallet. So beyond that, one of the most common thing that you can do when you go out to dinner with friends is a split account. So sometimes when I do not have any money at the moment, I want to say, hey, I will give it back to my friend next time, but as the time goes, I forget it. Then not only that, I think take out of a lot of money for point, and often do not receive the right amount. Either there is no small money or money is not enough. As mentioned above, I think the use of money can sometimes be unhygienic or troublesome. So e-wallet can solve this problem because many e-wallet can now transfer money to each other. So in base, the e-wallet can really change the ways we like and make us easy and more convenient.
Okay, yes, correct. I agree with you. I agree with what you say just now. The e-wallet is really convenient for the users. So I'm asking for Alex, do you have any idea on the advantage of using e-wallets? Would you state it and share it with us, please?
Yes, I have. So the second pro of e-wallet is to provide new reward such as discount, voucher, and free items for the users. If the frequency of using e-wallet increase, there will be more super rewards for the users. We can learn from Touch and Go and GrabPay e-wallet, where users will have transaction milestones to achieve more benefits. For example, in Touch and Go, when users make many transactions, they will be able to participate in lucky draw and get special vouchers for additional discounts. In GrabPay also, when a user reach a higher account time after a set amount of payment, they will get access to high-rate drivers and faster quick time when requesting a driver. Furthermore, they will even be able to get discounts in airport when they reach the highest tier. That's all for my point.
May I add something? You are right up to a point, but I think the way we reward can be changed a bit because very often that the voucher given by the e-wallet are only consumed in some fixed store only. But it is a pity that the store file cannot be found anywhere. So it will cause that users do not really enjoy the benefits. So I suggest that we can learn the credit card. Sometimes when the credit card we can get cashback as long as we use the credit cards to spend it. So I think this concept is very good for us to learn. So what do you think, Peng Ang?
Okay, I see eye to eye with you, Wen Chan. I think that cashback reward is very attractive and useful for the users. So can Kang Jin from technical team give me another suggestions or advantage of the e-wallets?
One of the strengths of e-wallets that I can think of is that e-wallet can allow a group of users to split their bills easily. For example, when a group of friends is eating out at a restaurant and wants to split the bill, it can be done without any need for calculation. Even for utilities, the payment can also be segmented where the user can pay half of the entire utility bill first and the rest of the bill later, or allow another member of the family to settle the remaining bills. This is very different from the traditional way of paying the entire bill in a lump sum at the physical payment location and allows the financial burden on certain users to be significantly reduced. Do you want to add anything, Peng Ang?
Yeah, I'm giving my 2 cents that the pros of e-wallets is the user are able to set a limit for the single transaction or for monthly transactions. So this function is very crucial and important for the users to control their monthly spending to prevent overspending. And they are able to avoid spending on unnecessary items. So with the help of the e-wallets of these functions, the user can track on their spending regularly and achieve their saving goals. This is very important for some adults who want to buy for a house or buy for cars. So I think the function is very important and crucial to in the saving goals. So can Alex give me some more ideas, please?
Yes, Peng Ang. I don't think so. Your suggestion is good because from the customer point of view, they will spend more on their expenses. If the e-wallet user does not bring up their saving habit, the e-wallet might be a trouble for the user due to some reason that the money does not feel real to the users as it is intangible. This is why e-wallet might cause someone to spend their money in a quick way. So, Kanjin, do you agree with me?
Yes, I do agree with you. And another feature that I can think of is the integration of payment services from other systems. As an example, we can integrate VidNow QR into our transaction system so that users will be able to pay at locations where our transaction system may not be available. VidNow QR is an interoperable QR standard that allows Malaysians to make payments and receive funds from any participating bank and e-wallet with just one QR code. This will allow users to easily transfer money back and forth between their bank accounts and the e-wallet too. Furthermore, there are already several hundred thousands of small businesses which are already supporting the use of Now QR. By taking part in it, we will be able to increase our potential customer base by an order of magnitude, as we do not need to try and persuade these small businesses to use our transaction systems. What do you think about this, Wenchuan?
Yes, I agree with you, Kang Jing. Besides that, I think the benefits of e-wallet have been widely popularized above. Some people in China, Europe, and the United States even go out without cash at all. With the trend of e-wallet becoming more and more popular with globalization, it is hard to deny that e-wallet are an indispensable part of the future world. It really becoming the dominant payment method. So in the future, I imagine that and realize that the e-wallet will become the dominant payment method, and maybe even face payment will come out also. So anyone have other benefits of e-wallet?
Yes, Wenchuan, I have. So I agree with you guys' suggestion. In addition, being secure and safe is also one of the strengths of the e-wallet. This is because carrying physical cash in risk in high crime areas where robbers gather at this place to find a victim. In this situation, showing a physical cash is very dangerous to become one of the victims from the robbery, in which we not only lose our belongings, the people might put himself into dangerous situation, which might threaten his own life. As a result, e-wallet will prefer to use for payment instead of using cash in order to keep the user much away from being a victim of robber issue. Do you have any other opinions, Kanjing?
From a technical standpoint, the risk of having your money stolen from your account is also very low with the implementation of two-factor authentication and a security PIN number, which are mandatory when making large transactions. Two-factor authentication requires a randomly generated string of numbers, which will be sent via SMS to the registered phone number for verification purposes when making transactions. With the implementation of this, even if the user's account is stolen, if the person who stole it does not have physical access to the user's phone to view his or her SMS, it will be pointless to try making transactions. Security pins are also highly secure as the account will automatically be frozen after several tries. Most commonly after 5 tries, which is a 5 in a million chance of randomly guessing the number. PIN number is a tried and true method which has been proven to work in banking institutions for decades. Do you agree, Peng Ang?
Yes, I do agree with Pang Jing's that the e-wallet payment is secure and safe compared with the physical wallets. So I think that is enough, and I think that is enough and high credibility of advantage of the e-wallets with various of examples just now. So now let's move on to the discussion on the weakness of e-wallets payments. So can I have a marketing officer with chance to start the first disadvantage of the e-wallet payment, please?
Yes, of course. I think that the weakness of the e-wallet, the first one is the technical problem. This is because some users will not bring extra cash because all of the payment depend on the e-wallet. So if the e-wallet system is suddenly not working or system down, they cannot make any payment as they never expected. The e-wallet will face this problem. The next, I think, is the security risk. This is because the hacker will hack your account easily when you allow the permission to assist the app in order to use the apps. The hacker will stash all the money inside your e-wallet when your account is hacked. So from the technical department, what are your ideas, Kang Jing?
Maybe a bug reporting and tracking system where users can send bug reports with an automatically generated log can be implemented so that the technical problems can be quickly identified and fixed as soon as possible. Having a policy of bugs always gets logged is a good idea. Verbally or user written reported issues can easily get lost, and it's much harder to build a picture of the most commonly reported bugs if all bugs are tracked. The workforce of the bug testing team can also be increased so that the bugs can be detected in the early part of development before being released into the public. We should also keep a backup of old versions of our system in case we need to roll back parts of a newly released update due to a system breaking bug. This will ensure that we will be able to always keep our system online. To counter security risks, we can forcefully limit the daily and monthly transactions a user can make. For example, Touch and Go currently limits the daily transaction of a user to RM1000. This will limit the damage that can be done by a hacker because only a limited amount of money can be spent per day. This also allows time for the user to contact our customer service when they detect unusual or suspicious usage on their account so that we can take immediate action and freeze their account before further damage is done to the user. We can also try to implement customer onboarding KYC with blockchain technology. As the name suggests, Know Your Customer or KYC refers to the practice and set of rules that financial companies follow. KYC requires customer identification documents in order to maintain reliable information about individual customers. This information can be asked anytime by the regulatory authorities for any particular customer or transaction, which will prevent identity theft and account misuse by other people. As blockchain technology is moving towards its mature stage, businesses are witnessing the transformation of the financial services, and we should keep up with its pace. Banking institutions are already using blockchain to safeguard and share the personal data collected by several means, and we could also try to do the same. What do you think about this, Alex?
That's right. So furthermore, reckless spending habits is another weakness of the e-wallet. This is because the user will use the money from the e-wallet to make payments without thinking, as the money does not feel real to the user. If the e-wallet user does not cultivate their saving habits, they should stop using e-wallet and use back the old traditional ways to pay for their transaction. In this way, they will think before they purchase those goods, as they don't want to spend their money or saving on buying unnecessary item. Wenjuan, do you have any other opinions?
Yes, I think the e-wallet is now fully available both ways. This is because some old generations still only accept cash instead of e-wallet payment, and the cash feel real to them. Furthermore, different retailer accept different style of e-wallet payment, such as GrabPay, WeChat Pay, and PayPay. It's difficult for the users to remember which store using which e-wallet is very inconvenient for them lah.
Sorry to interrupt. I don't think it's a very complex problems, as a lot of e-wallets collaborate with the bank to use the Do It Now QR code. Just now, like Kang Jing said, just before, and then from the user side, they can just scan the Do It Now QR code by any of the e-wallet applications, and from the merchant side, they also enjoy these benefits that the income from the users can directly transfer into the same bank account. Thus, the account can be thus the accounting of calculate the money can be done easier and effectively.
Oh yes, I agree with you. I agree with your idea. This is a good point to overcome this.
Okay, so seems like we are up to a point. So the weakness of the e-wallets has been pointed out clearly, and which is the technical problems, the security risk, reckless spending habits, and lastly, the e-wallet is not fully available worldwide. So we already discussed the strengths, weakness, and challenges of the e-wallets. So now I think we can end this discussion here. Thank you, everyone.
So thank
All right.
you.
Thank you.